Everybody really gave their life and their souls to it, and that kind of really went towards that kind of that sacrifice that you get at the end. It was like we were willing to die for each other, and you have so much testosterone floating around there that you were really, you know, at times you were ready to kill and you were ready to die. You were like, ah! So I don't know if that's the right answer, but it's just the first thing that came to my head.
Frank, Gerard, and David. It looks like an awesome movie. Anyway, I have something to read for David.
Okay.
And let me just read this fast. We want to take this opportunity to present you with a special gift. I'm with several fellow collectors who are here with me today in making a Faramir statue for our collections. And we'd really like it if you would accept it as a token of our appreciation. We have it here in fact, and we've given it a bronze look just to make yours extra special.
Aww.
Well, thank you very much. I'm extremely honoured to accept this statue. I don't know if this is the correct forum for it, but I shall do it anyway. Thank you very much.
Hi, my question is for Mr. Gerard Butler.
A graphic, the graphic novel is pictures, right? So one cool thing about that is that, a movie's pictures too. So I think if you just hard on everybody and you keep going, no, it looks like this, they start to get it. Like, I think people tend to want to like make it look like Grease or something. And I just the whole time we just go, no, we have a picture here, so like let's just do the picture, and everyone would always want to like go, hey, what about this idea? And I'd be like, yeah, that's cool for something else, but for this, it's right here. So I think it's after a while everyone figured it out, they're like, okay, got it, it's in the picture, But at first it was that process of training everyone not to do reality necessarily.
It's true reality.
Yeah.
Why are you all here? For reality?
Also, Frank Miller, my boyfriend had you sign a birthday card for me last year at Wizard World, so I just wanted to say thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, this one's for Mr. Wenham and Mr. Butler, which it's really cool to see you guys here. But my question is, what was the reaction to the costumes you're going to have to wear, or rather the lack of costume you're going to have to wear?
I think we just heard it. I'll go quickly first. I pretty much have never felt so stupid in my life. And the first time I had to put on that leather, codpiece, yeah. And I had to walk through the studio, and I walked past all the plasterers and the electricians, all these French-Canadian guys, big guys, like walking with a pair of sandals or slippers or something, I can't remember, in my leather codpiece. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get through this? But then, after a couple of days, you kind of get used to it, and you're surrounded by like another 60 guys, all looking the same as you, and then you start getting into it, and you think, I want to look bigger than him. I want to and then I'll let David answer it.
Well, you won, Jerry. You were the biggest. My panic set in relatively early. After I was cast in the film, I went and bought Frank's book, which is obviously the source material for the film. And I opened up, and I think on page 3, my character appears, Dilios, who's the storyteller. And the very first image of Dilios is him standing naked over a fire telling stories. It was then that I hit the panic button. I flicked through a few more pages and saw that all he wore throughout the whole book was basically this leather codpiece. So I got onto my agent, so I was slightly nervous, but a little bit of training and whatnot, and it was okay. It was okay.
It looks great. So you guys,
Hi, how you doing? This question is more for Frank and for Zach. I just bought the 300 at the exposition. The other one. Looks great, but I just recently read Stephen Pressfield's The Gates of Fire. It was a great book, and I was wondering if either of the two of you have, the Battle of Thermopylae is such an inspiring story. Looks really stylized in the movie, and it looks really cool. I was wondering if you took any ideas from any other places, or just any inspiration from any of those books.
I researched the hell out of this thing. I mean, I had wanted to do the story since I was 6 years old, and I had to put together a visual style for it. I suspect that Mr. Pressfield went through much the same process. It was a remarkable coincidence that our books came out at the same time. We never conferred, and it's just, the story is so compelling that I think each generation has to retell it.
I'm very glad I got to hear the we'll have our battle in the shade line, though. That was great.
We'll fight in the shade.
Thanks.
Hi.
Now we have the girl dressed as an angel.
Point of view, I love the fact that he was a storyteller. I love the historian within the character. The fact that it was his retelling of what happened at Thermopylae that did inspire, more Greeks to then, a year later go on and eventually defeat the enemy. So that, I won't waffle anymore.
Thank you.
This question's obviously for you, Jerry.
I hope you're not going to speak in some Martian language.
Actually, I was going to ask, how long did it take to film the film, and where was it shot?
Film the film. Film the film. 60 days to film the film, and shot in Montreal, Canada. Obviously, I mean, it's supposed to be ancient Greece, so an obvious choice, parallel is Montreal, Canada. Actually, David, when I first talked to him on the phone, he was still in Australia, and
I just read the graphic novel for the first time and saw that all I'd be wearing was a pair of leather codpiece. And I found out that we were shooting in Montreal in the middle of winter. And I had a very nervous conversation with Zach.
I said, don't worry, we're going to have heaters, it'll be fine, we're going to melt the snow, it'll be great.
Come on, Zach, that was the best thing when I was up there and saw what was going on. You have this sweltering set, that all these guys in jock straps going out in the cold Montreal. I thought, this guy's just trying to spread pneumonia.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the funny answer.
Thank you. Alright, I'm kind of with her. Even though we may not be permitted to, is it okay if we give you guys hugs? Okay, I tried. But I was going to ask David, not Ken. Never mind, I already asked the question. What's your favorite color and in what shade?
I'm sorry for asking these guys to the front.
That's a good question.
My favorite color changes. It really does change depending on what mood I'm in.
Nobody cares.
Today, red. Yeah. Oh, come on, Frank.
Maybe someone cares.
It's a 300.
This is a question for Jerry. I was at a panel yesterday where the director was talking about working on films with a lot of CGI, and he said that he actually preferred working on films with a lot of CGI because they tend to flow better, the production is usually a little bit smoother. And how do you feel about that as an actor? Because you worked on films with, say, like Dear Frankie, where there was no CGI, just this beautiful scenery. And here you obviously worked with a lot of green screens. How did you feel about that as an actor? Are there, what are the advantages and disadvantages?
It was blue screen actually, but there you go. My favorite color is green. Nobody cares. Yeah, that's obviously a director speaking as opposed to an actor, because it was actually, I found, very, very difficult to get used to, you know. I mean, obviously there's a lot to be said for doing a film like Dear Frankie, which is just a very real life story, and that's fantastic to perform in the environment that you're supposed to be in. Whereas this, you're looking at